It's time for Dodger Baseball. Live from Dodger Stadium, KCAL 9 presents the Dodgers as they take on the Arizona Diamondbacks. Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant Saturday night to you, wherever you may be. Game 2 of the series, Dodgers winning last night. And for the D-backs, they're 4 back of San Francisco. They have made a deal. They've acquired right-hander Jason Marquis from the Washington Nationals to try to catch San Francisco. For the Dodgers at this time of the year, number 1, Hiroki Kuroda exercised the paragraph in his contract. He will stay with the Dodgers, not be traded. Rafael Furcal's name has been kicked around a bit. If there is indeed a story on Rafael, we'll find out about that tomorrow. On the mound for the Dodgers tonight, it'll be Chad Billingsley. He was 27 years old yesterday, trying to beat Arizona for the 10th time in his career. He's 9-8. And for Arizona, Micah Owings coming out of the bullpen, where he's been very tough. He is 4-0, obviously a much better pitcher than he was with Cincinnati. So, game 2 of the series, the Dodgers and the D-backs, and we'll get to the ball game, but first of all, I have a question for you, and that'll be coming up right after this. The 3-game series between the Dodgers and the Arizona Diamondbacks. Tonight's text question is a good one. Which recently acquired outfielder do you think will make a bigger impact down the stretch? Carlos Beltran going to the San Francisco Giants or Hunter Pence moving to the Philadelphia Phillies? Text your answer to 86212 on your cell phone. It'll be interesting to get your thinking. And a reminder, we will be back with the ball game, the Dodgers and the D-backs, after this. Dodger Baseball on KCAL 9 is brought to you by Jack in the Box, where you can get anything on the menu any time of the day. And by Infinity, luxury cars that deliver inspired performance. Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant Saturday night to you, wherever you may be. The old song, Saturday night is the loneliest night of the week. No way. We'll keep you company with the Dodgers and the Arizona Diamondbacks. A lot of baseball news. First of all, the Diamondbacks landed Jason Marquis in a deal with the Washington Nationals, and Marquis will start Wednesday in San Francisco as the D-backs try to catch the Giants. Meanwhile, another deal, the Rockies agreed to trade Ubaldo Jimenez to the Cleveland Indians, so the big right-hander is gone. But with all of that, here comes Kirk Gibson along with his aide, Alan Trammell, and we'll take a look at the names on Kirk Gibson's card as we get this thing underway. Willie Bloomquist opens up at short, Kelly Johnson at second, Justin Upton in right field, Miguel Montero the catcher, Chris Young in center, Brandon Allen at first base, Ryan Roberts at third, Gerardo Parra in left field, and Micah Owings on the mound. On the mound for the Dodgers, as of yesterday, turning 27 years old, Chad Billingsley with a record of 9-8. Last time out, 7 strong innings against Washington, allowing just 1 run on 2 hits, and he struck out 10 in a Dodger 3-1 victory. Against the Diamondbacks back in May, to show you how tough this game can be, he one-hit the Diamondbacks over 8 innings in May and lost 1-0 at Dodger Stadium on an unearned run. So, with a record set on the line of 9-6 with Arizona, he's getting ready to face Willie Bloomquist, followed by Kelly Johnson, and then Justin Upton. The Dodgers of late playing a lot better. They've won 5 of the last 6. Willie Bloomquist trying to help the D-backs snap a 2-game losing streak, and he's been red hot. He's hit safely in 18 out of 20, hitting .281. Last night, Bloomquist had a home run in the 5th inning and lost an extra base hit on a phenomenal catch by Matt Kemp in the 7th inning last night. So Bloomquist waiting, and the first pitch to Willie in there for a strike, and the count 0-1. The D-backs have beaten the Dodgers 4 of 7. The other 2 previous Dodger victories were with Clayton Kershaw till last night. Bloomquist fouls another pitch away, 0-2 the count. The temperature 71 degrees. Beautiful evening as we're running out of July. This being the 30th, tomorrow the last day of the month, and the Dodgers hit the road August 1st to San Diego. Strike 2 pitch to Bloomquist, a roller to shortstop, charging Carroll, throws on the run, and just did get him on a bang-bang play. So Jamie Carroll is playing for Rafael Furcal, and of course there's a big asterisk and a story on that. We can set the Dodgers defensively for you. The outfield, Gwynn, Kemp, and Ethier. The infield marks the return of Casey Blake and Jamie Carroll, Miles and Rivera, Billingsley and Barajas behind the plate. The Dodgers have informed Rafael Furcal that they would like to deal him, and apparently to the St. Louis Cardinals. As a 10-5 player, however, you have to have 24 hours. There's a one-hopper through into center field off the bat of Kelly Johnson. So Furcal has 24 hours to make up his mind as to whether he would accept the offer. He is not in the lineup tonight, but it would appear it's almost a cinch that Furcal will be leaving the team tomorrow and go to St. Louis. And we would certainly wish him all the luck in the world. The Cardinals, of course, have a chance to get into the postseason. They begin just a game and a half behind Milwaukee. But we'll have more about Rafael Furcal tomorrow. Here is Justin Upton hitting .302, 21 home runs, 62 runs batted in, hit one over the center field fence yesterday and takes low, ball 1. Upton last night went 1 for 5, so he has just 2 hits in 27 at-bats against the Dodgers. One of the top players in baseball, and of course his brother's over in the American League. Johnson at first with one out and a threat to run. Upton, meanwhile, right-hand hitter waiting at the plate. The next one, breaking ball off the plate, ball 2, 2-0. Kelly Johnson has stolen 11 out of 13. And Upton backs off for the moment as Kelly tries to read Billingsley. Eric Young coaching at first, over to say something to Johnson. Matt Williams coaching at third. 2-0 the count to Justin Upton. Billingsley set, very deliberate, now to the plate, and it is swung on and missed, and the count 2-1. Justin Upton, with his 21 home runs, has struck out 82 times. In fact, he has struck out exactly twice as many times as he has walked. Outstanding young right fielder. He won't be 24 till the end of August. 2-1 to Justin Upton. One out, first inning, no score. Billingsley again set up around the letters, comes back to his hitter, and that's flared into right field. Base hit, and Kelly rounding second and holds on as Ethier gunned the ball back in. So Upton, a little pop fly single into right field, and just like that, Arizona's in business. 2 on, 1 out, and the left-hand hitting catcher Miguel Montero coming up. Remember, the Dodgers have really put the lid on the first inning. I mean, the Dodgers now have played 102 games, this being 103. And they've only allowed 28 runs in the first inning all year, as Clayton Kershaw visits with Ted Lilly. So with 1 out and 2 on, Miguel Montero, left-hand hitting catcher, batting .280. He was an all-star this year. 12 home runs, 54 runs batted in, and he fouls it away 0-1. In looking at Billingsley's work against Arizona, we'll take a look at Montero. Montero is hitting .360 against him. Chris Young, who is on deck, has 3 home runs against Billingsley. Brandon Allen and Xavier Nady each have 1. So Chad looks in again his side. 0-1 the count. Barajas sets the target, and the pitch is swung on, lifted to left field. Wing goes back, but he has a play, makes the catch and gets it back in, and the runners have to stay. So Montero, fly ball to left, 2 down, and here comes Chris Young.
Number 24.
For Young, he has 10 hits against Billingsley. 3 of them are home runs. However, in his 45 at-bats, he has struck out 13 times against Billingsley. Chris hitting .251, 16 home runs, 52 runs batted in. Arizona trying to capitalize, and early. Giants were struggling in Cincinnati. Billingsley out of his stretch, checks the runners and deals, and the first pitch off the plate. Ball 1, 1-0. One of the reasons the Dodgers won last night, comparing the numbers 3, 4, and 5 hitters, the heart of the lineup, and it was a big difference. 1-0 pitch in at the knuckles, ball 2. Arizona's 3, 4, and 5 last night, and that meant Upton, Young, and Nady. They were 2 for 12 with 2 runs batted in. The Dodger 3, 4, and 5 hitters, Ethier, Kemp, and Rivera, was 7 for 13 and 6 runs batted in with 4 extra base hits. Here's the 2-0 pitch to Chris Young, swung on and foul back, and the count 2-1. It is Navy Week here in Southern California, and we certainly salute all the members of the United States Navy. Many of them are here tonight, and we are honored in their presence. We also had the United States Navy leapfrogs. They're the SEALs, and they came out of the heavens. They come off the plane at about 6,500 feet, and they're heart-stopping as they comes into the stadium and land in center field. 2-1 pitch. Young hits a fly ball just back of second base, in fact, and waiting for it is Miles. So once again, a team fails to score in the first inning. No runs, 2 hits, 2 left. At the end of half an inning, no score. pitches, gave up 2 hits, but got out of the first inning unscathed. Now we'll take a look at the Dodger lineup. Tony Gwynn in left, followed by the return of Casey Blake at third. Then you have Ethier, Kemp, Rivera playing first, Aaron Miles at second, Rod Barajas behind the plate batting seventh, Jamie Carroll at shortstop, Chad Billingsley on the mound. On the mound for the D-backs, it's Micah Owings, 6'5", 220 pounds, out of Gainesville, Georgia. He'll be 29 the end of September, and the big guy is 4-0, makes his first pitch and throws a strike. Couple of quick notes about him. His earned run average from last year to this has gone from over 5 to just over 2. That is a tremendous turnaround. The strike one pitch on the way to Gwynn, little pop fly. It'll be the third baseman, Ryan Roberts, making the catch. And just like that, Gwynn is retired, 1 away, and the batter will be Casey Blake.
Number 23.
The return of Casey Blake. He has certainly had his problems, especially with the neck. But after a quick rehab, he was reinstated from the DL earlier today. He missed 54 games due to injury with a cervical strain. He's also had a left elbow infection, a back injury with a bad neck, and he takes a strike in the count 0-1. So Blake hitting .243, 4 home runs, 18 runs batted in. Mike Owings comes back 0-1, drills a fastball in there at the knees, and the count 0-2. So Blake draws a tough customer in Micah Owings, who came out of the bullpen and is trying to become one of the 5 starters. His pitch to Blake up and in. We told you he's cut his ERA down. Left-hand hitters are not bothering him this year at all. And he is totally different pitching in Arizona as Blake fouls another pitch away. At home in Arizona, his earned run average is 2.7. When he was at home in Cincinnati, his earned run average was a breathtaking 8.6. Another thing, his control has improved dramatically from about 6.5 walks to 3. The 1-2 pitch, slider down and away, 2-2. Another thing about Owings, it might seem like a small thing to you, but it's so important. He has dropped 3 ball counts by 48%. The 2-2 pitch is on the inside corner, and down goes Blake. Great off-speed pitch. Casey was striding in looking for something quick, and Blake caught looking. Down he goes. So we have 2 out, and Andre Ethier coming up. In looking at Micah Owings' work against the Dodgers, Andre Ethier hitting .308 against him with a home run. Dodgers with home runs against him: Barajas, Ethier, Loney, and Miles. Loney not playing. And the pitch to Andre, a hopper to first base. Nice play by Brandon Allen. And that's it. It didn't take long. And the Dodgers go 1-2-3. So at the end of an inning, the D-backs nothing and the Dodgers nothing. pitches to retire the Dodgers in order. Now in the second inning, no score. And the leadoff man will be Brandon Allen, the first baseman, left-hand batter, and he takes a strike in the count 0-1. Allen is a big boy out of Montgomery, Texas, 6'2", 235, 25 years old, but hitting only 154. Billingsley with a pitch in at the knuckles and a 1-ball, 1-strike count. For Brandon Allen, they need him to hit. In his first 3 games, among other things, he hit a big home run to beat the Dodgers over in Arizona. The 1-1 pitch, and Brandon again takes inside. Allen, in his first 3 games, 2 for 7. The 2 hits were 2 home runs. Since then, he is 2 for 19. Billingsley ready and comes back 2-1 and works away now after a couple inside, and he's behind 3 balls and 1 strike. Final score, the Cincinnati Reds knocked off the Giants 7-2. So the Reds have beaten San Francisco 2 straight. 3-1 pitch is outside, ball 4, and Brandon Allen draws the walk. And that'll bring up Ryan Roberts. Roberts, the third baseman, had a walk, a single, and a home run last night. Ryan has 14 home runs, 42 runs batted in. So Roberts checking in. 3 base runners now in the first inning plus for Arizona, but they haven't produced anything. And the right-hand hitting Roberts waits at the plate. Here comes Billingsley. First pitch fastball strike, and the count 0-1. Ryan Roberts out of Fort Worth, Texas. He's got sock. 14 home runs. That's sock. Ryan waiting at the plate. Allen off the bag at first. No score. Second inning. And the next pitch is rifled into center for a base hit. Matt Kemp plays it well, gets it back in. So in the first inning, the D-backs had first and second with 1 out and failed to score. Now they'll try their luck. First and second and nobody out. The bottom of the lineup. And Gerardo Parra coming up. Parra last night came in as a pinch hitter, called out on strikes, even though he fouled the ball into the dirt. The plate umpire didn't see it go in the dirt. So Parra got a bad deal there. He's been playing well since the middle of May. From the 17th of May on, he's hitting .308. So his average at 284. Left-hand hitter, and he bangs it into right field. Ethier charges, and the bases are going to be loaded, and nobody out. So Parra line drive single to right. Roberts goes to second. Allen stops at third. And so for Chad Billingsley, it's a wobbly start. He's given up 4 hits and a walk, but no runs. And now you have Micah Owings, who, believe me, is one of the better hitting pitchers around. Doesn't look like he's done much now. He's only had 10 at bats, but he does have 2 hits and a run batted in. Owings not swinging the bat much because he'd been in the bullpen, but now as a starting pitcher, and he's not quite sure, so he wants to talk to Matt Williams. What's the story? Matt puts his right arm around him and says something. Mike Owings coming back. He has always been one of the better hitting pitchers around. So the big guy checks in. He does give you a good strike zone. He is 6'5", and Billingsley up to his hips with alligators, working on Owings. And then the leadoff man, Willie Bloomquist. Chad ready. Here he comes, and a fastball in there. 0-1 the count to Micah Owings. Out of Gainesville, Georgia, went to Tulane University. He did go to Georgia Tech because his dad went there. His dad was a football star, wide receiver, scored a lot of touchdowns. He has 9 home runs as he waves at a pitch way off the plate. 0-2. When Owings is pitching regularly every 5th day and has a lot of at-bats, he's a problem. But again, we mentioned he's been in the bullpen for most of the year. He's got Allen, Roberts, and Parra out there, and a no-ball, 2-strike count. He has 9 home runs in his career. Micah takes in the dirt. Nice block by Barajas. 1 and 2. 9 home runs in his career, but no grand slams. Micah Owings. So the big man back up there. 1 ball and 2 strikes with the bases loaded, nobody out, no score, and we're in the top of the 2nd inning. Billingsley ready. Chad delivers, and it's slapped foul off first down the line and back into the crowd. And a nice play down there by a youngster who had the good sense to bring a glove. So still 1 ball and 2 strikes the count. Billingsley gave up 2 hits in the first inning, but he got Montero and Young. Now he's given up a walk and 2 hits. Bases loaded, nobody out. 1 ball and 2 strikes to a good hitting pitcher, Micah Owings. Chad looks down, gets a sign from Barajas, and the 1-2 pitch, fastball, fouled away again, and Owings still there. When you see Owings at the plate, he's very impressive anyway. It's 6'5", 220. You don't really think about a pitcher at the plate at all. He looks more like a big outfielder. 1 and 2. Out of a stretch goes Billingsley. Back he comes, and it is swung on and missed. Good fastball at 92, and down goes Owings. Though 1 out, first strikeout. No fooling around. That was a letter-high fastball right out over the plate, and Owings could not catch up to it. So now it's Willie Bloomquist who grounded to short in the first inning. Bloomquist is doing a very good job taking over at shortstop. Remember, Stephen Drew broke an ankle, so he's done for the year. And Bloomquist in a pennant race trying to do everything he can to help Kirk Gibson. Willie's first home run in the big leagues was a grand slam. Right-hand hitter. And he swings, pops one in the air, foul, and back into the crowd. 0-1 the count. Bloomquist from Bremerton, Washington. Lives over in Arizona. He went to Arizona State. Bloomquist has a grand slam. He hit it against Tampa Bay. He played a lot of years for the Seattle Mariners. So the slam was his first major league home run. That occurred on July the 13th back in 2003. 0-1 to count to Bloomquist. Billingsley deals low. 1 ball and 1 strike. On the 1-1 count this year, Bloomquist has hit .370, so it's a favorable count for him. Right-hand batter waiting. Billingsley looks in, getting a sign from Barajas. Now out of a stretch with the bases loaded and 1 out, and the 1-1 pitch fouled away. 1-2 the count. For Billingsley, he has now made 31 pitches, 17 already here in the 2nd inning. And facing Willie Bloomquist. He'll be 34 in November, with Allen, Roberts, and Parra on the lines, and Billingsley trying to wiggle off the hook again. 1-2 the count. Chad hides the ball back of his hip, now out of his stretch, and Bloomquist not ready and backs out. Willie Bloomquist. In and out. Now back in there, and Billingsley very patient. Chad out of his stretch. Runners all take their leads. 1-2 pitch, and that's low and away. Blocked by Barajas. 2-2 the count. And looking at Billingsley, hit the dirt a few times with a runner at third. We should tell you that Chad has 3 wild pitches. Arizona, 6 games above 500 at home and 2 games above on the road. They are exactly 500 inside the division. So are the Dodgers. Billingsley again ready, being very careful. 2-2 pitch, and Bloomquist takes off the plate. Ball 3. So Willie, with 13 runs batted in, makes Billingsley go all the way. And remember, the inning began with a walk 3-2 to Brandon Allen. Waiting on deck, Kelly Johnson, the left-hand hitting second baseman. So 3-2 with the bases loaded and 1 out. Billingsley ready and makes his pitch, and it's lifted to right field. Having to go back on it is Ethier. The runner's tag. Andre's going to make the throw to the plate, not nearly in time, and all of the runners move up. So that was a pretty good fly ball by Willie Bloomquist. Not only does he score Allen from third, Roberts went to third, and Parra went to second. And just like that, it's a run batted in, and the Diamondbacks lead 1-0. Of course, they led 1-0 last night in the second inning on a home run by Ryan Roberts. So now they have Roberts at third, Parra at second, and the left-hand hitting Kelly Johnson. He singled in the first inning. Kelly hitting just .219, but he does have a lot of power. 17 home runs, 46 runs batted in, first base open. Kelly strikes out an awful lot. He strikes with the emphasis on awful. He has struck out 111 times. So when you're hitting .219 and you've struck out 111, that's a pretty rough way to go despite the 17 home runs. Billingsley ready. He'll pitch to him, and Kelly looks at ball one. On deck is the right-hand hitting Justin Upton. Giants got pushed around very early in their game and eventually bowed to the Reds 7-2. Madison Bumgarner gave up 7 runs in 4 innings. The 1-0 pitch on the way is swung on and missed. By the way, in that Giants game, Carlos Beltran is now 1 for 14 as a Giant. Mike Leake got the victory for the Reds. So Roberts and Parra waiting for a ride home. Johnson up there, 1 ball and 1 strike. Billingsley out of a stretch, checks ready and comes back. A check swing on a pitch high, ball 2. With Billingsley going head to head with Johnson. Johnson was 7 for 28, hitting .250 against Chad, and 1 for 1 tonight. Roberts and Parra taking their leads. It's 1-0 Arizona's second inning. Johnson grounds one foul behind Eric Young and down the line, and the count stays 2-2. The Dodgers and the D-backs one more time, and tomorrow the final game of this homestand. Left-hander Joe Saunders will go up against the Dodgers' Ruby De La Rosa on prime ticket tomorrow at 1 o'clock. 2-2 to Kelly Johnson. Chad out of a stretch, back he comes, and that one is whacked to right. Ethier on the dead run, reaches up, makes the catch, and drops to his knees. Boy, that saved 2 runs. A great play by Andre Ethier in front of the visiting bullpen gate. So Kelly Johnson losing an extra base hit and 2 RBIs. A diving one-hand backhand catch by Ethier. The D-backs settle 4-1. Andre getting an ovation coming in. It's 1-0 Arizona. Matt Kemp leading off the second inning and takes a strike, and the count 0-1. Andre Ethier making a sensational diving catch to prevent 2 runs and maybe more in that inning. So the Diamondbacks lead only 1-0. Strike one, pitch and away, and Matt Kemp promptly whacks it into left field. He'll go to first and see if he holds on. He will, as Gerardo Parra gets it back in. So Matt, who is just blazing hot, last year on base percentage was .310. He's getting close to 400 now with a line drive single to left field. And the batter will be Juan Rivera. Well, Michael Owings, after retiring the side in order, the Dodgers now have a man aboard, and it's quite a threat. Matt having stolen 27 out of 30. That's a 90% success rate. And here's Rivera. Mike Owings ready. A bluff by Kemp. Rivera shows bunt, takes a strike, 0-1. Rivera had 2 doubles last night. So that's one reason why he's in there. And it had to be a decision as far as Don Mattingly is concerned, because James Loney 3 for 7 with a home run against Owings. That's a .429 batting average, but he opted to go with Rivera. The strike one pitch on the way. A throw to first, and Kemp back on the bag. D-backs 1 run on 4 hits and a walk. The run came on a scoring fly ball, and they lost a couple more on that play by Ethier. 0-1 the count to Rivera, hitting .289, 1 home run, 3 runs batted in, and the pitch low in the dirt. Nice backhand save by an all-star catcher. Boy, that was a neat play by Miguel Montero. 1-1 the count. Jim Rivera with Aaron Miles on deck. Dodgers trying to get to 500 against Arizona. D-backs have won 4 of 7. All right, 1-1 the count to Juan Rivera. Michael Owings watching Kemp, who doesn't go. Rivera hits a high fly ball into right center, but it appears playable, and Chris Young makes the catch on the track and gets it back in. So Juan, a long fly ball, 1 away, and Aaron Miles coming up. You know, the Coca-Cola Value Pack is available for select Wednesday and Sunday Dodger home games. That includes 4 tickets, 4 Dodger dogs, 4 Cokes. But tomorrow's the last day. You'll also receive a Dodger cooler bag with every ticket, all starting at $20 per seat. For more information, go to Dodgers.com/specials. Here's Miles, switch hitter, batting left-handed. 1-0 D-backs, 1 out, second inning. Micah backs off the rubber. Kemp goes back to the bag. Aaron Miles hitting .307 with a home run and 27 runs batted in. Hitting .355 right-handed. He's batting left-handed against Owings, and he's hitting .293 from this side. So Miles waiting. Out of a stretch goes Owings. Looks. There goes Kemp. The pitch outside. Montero's throw is late. And Matt now has stolen 28 out of 31. What a year. What a tremendous improvement over last year. And last year it wasn't bad in the sense that he did have 19 stolen bases. However, last year he was caught 15 times. So his success percentage last year only 56, and this year better than 90%. And the first stolen base in a couple of weeks. The 1-0 pitch, and Miles looks, takes a strike, and the count 1-1. 1 run, 4 hits for the D-backs, no runs, 1 hit for the Dodgers against Micah Owings. Michael looks in, getting a sign. He studied a management course. In fact, he majored in it when he was at Georgia Tech. The 1-1 pitch on the way is taken a little high, and with Aaron Miles, it doesn't have to be too high to be high. 2-1 the count. Owings, as we said, went to Georgia Tech because of his dad, but after 2 years, he transferred out of Georgia Tech and moved on to Tulane. never really liked to talk about it, but he did make the change. Out of a stretch, big guy looks back at second, and the 2-1 pitch on the way. Instead, he thinks better of it, and Bloomquist trying to take a step away from Kemp. I don't think they're really worrying about Matt Kemp to try and steal third, not with a left-hand hitter up, because Ryan Roberts is right even with the bag. But if you have a big right-hand hitter like a Barajas, the door might then be open. Nevertheless, Kemp trying to distract at least. To the bag goes Bloomquist, and the throw not in time. 2-1 the count to Aaron Miles. Kemp carrying the tying run out there at second base. Owings, with one out in the second inning, has made 17 pitches, while Chad Billingsley's already made 39. Micah set at the belt, looks at Kemp. Kemp dancing off the bag. Micah watching again. Now to Miles, who fouls it away down the line off third. 2 balls and 2 strikes the count. Miles out of Pittsburgh, California. Switch hitters had a good year for the Dodgers. Aaron in and out of the box. Against Micah Owings, Aaron Miles 1 for 3, and it was a home run. Owings ready, 2-2 pitch on the hand, little dribbler. It's going to be fielded by Allen, who gives it to Owings in time. Rounding third is Kemp, but Owings knew he was on the bases, so he turned in a hurry and was ready to make a play. So Miles, a little dribbler, 3-1. That advances Kemp to third base. And Owings, as soon as he stepped on the bag, he was looking across the diamond at Matt Kemp. Rod Barajas coming up. Now with Matt Kemp at third. We'll check Micah Owings. Micah Owings has 3 wild pitches. And as far as Barajas is concerned, Barajas is 2 for 3 with a home run against Micah Owings in the past. Big Rod has 9 home runs, 22 runs batted in. Owings ready, deals, and the first pitch off the plate, ball 1. D-backs 1, Dodgers nothing. 2 out, bottom of the second. Matt Kemp 90 feet away from tying it up. Hitting behind Barajas, Jamie Carroll. Kemp inching off the bag. Owings looks at him, back to his hitter, gets it in there for a strike. 1-1 the count to Rod Barajas. Barajas, remember, was on the DL. It's always tough to just come right back. He's 2 for 16 since he was reinstated. Again, Owings ready, looks at Kemp. Matt bluffs. The 1-1 pitch on the way is fouled back. 1-2 the count. I forget the numbers, but I know Jackie Robinson stole home a bunch of times, maybe as many as 19, something that high. And if I also remember the big surprise, Babe Ruth stole home, I think, 10 times. How about that? Here's the 1-2 pitch coming up to Rod Barajas. It's a little high, and a 2-2 count. I'm not sure of the numbers, but I know what Jackie did, and I have a good idea that it's so surprising that Babe Ruth did what he did. So Kemp at third with 2 out. 2-2 the count to Rod Barajas. There was a game in Pittsburgh at night 1,000 years ago. Jackie was angry. He stole second, then he stole third, and then he stole home. I think the pitcher had knocked him down or did something to annoy him. That was the old story. As the Dodgers are appealing balk to Chad Fairchild, Tim Wallach and Kemp saying Mike Owens is not stopping correctly, and Barajas fouls another one back. Matt keeps gesturing, and so is Wallach talking to Fairchild. He comes up and stops, Fairchild says, and that's the end of that. So 2-2 the count to Rod Barajas, trying to get Kemp home and tie it up. 1-0 Arizona, bottom of the second inning. The 2-2 pitch on the way is taken off the plate. Ball 3. They're not very happy if they face Jamie Carroll. The last 2 years here in L.A. against Arizona, Jamie Carroll is hitting .464, so they don't want any part of him. They'd like to get Barajas and get back in the dugout. So this will be a big pitch to Rod. Full count, 2 down. Kemp at third, and the D-backs lead 1-0. Out of a stretch goes Mike Owings. Big guy ready, looks at Kemp. Here he comes, way off the plate. So Barajas draws the walk, and that gives Jamie Carroll a chance to bedevil the Diamondbacks yet again.
Batting 8, number 14.
Jamie is hitting .293 with 9 runs batted in. But in the last 2 years, that means exactly 2010 and 11, .464 batting average, and an on-base percentage over .500. So Jamie has been a pest. First and third, 2 out. Owings checks the runners, comes to his hitter, and as usual, Carroll takes the first pitch for a strike. The other night, he actually swung at the first pitch, and it really was a shock. Carroll has had just 1 at-bat against Owings. He's 0-1. Cowboy Joe West is the plate umpire. Owings again set from the first base side of the rubber. Carroll a ground ball to the right side. Kelly Johnson is on it to Allen, and that'll be that. No runs ahead, a stolen base and a walk. And at the end of 2, D-backs 1, Dodgers 0. Upton, Miguel Montero, and then Chris Young. By the way, not to drive you up a wall about it, but we were talking about Matt Kemp and the possibility of a stolen base of home, and we guessed kind of that, read about it somewhere, that Jackie Robinson had stolen home 19 times, and that was correct. He was also caught 12 times, and we were right on Babe Ruth stealing home 10. We didn't know who had the most, but when you think about it, that figured. Ty Cobb stole home 54 times. Anyway, here's Upton. Into the windup goes Billingsley. Chad deals, and it's fouled away. Last night, a pivotal play occurred, and that was a ball that Tony Gwynn hit to right field. It went over the glove of Upton as he was going towards the bullpen gate, and it was ruled an error. Upton never touched the ball. Billingsley ready. And the strike one pitch on the way. Ground ball to short. Nice hop for Carroll to take care of and one away. Anyway, upon further consideration, the official score says, number one, it was a tougher play. And the fact he didn't get the glove on it, probably as he goes back, he reached up. I felt he should have caught it, but the official score finally said the same thing. But now tonight he's reconsidering. And all I can tell the official score, if you watched Upton when he went back in at the end of that inning, he tried to destroy the dugout. I mean, he was so angry at himself that I know in his heart he feels he should have caught the ball. And I'm not really worrying about error or base hit with Upton. You always worry about the poor pitcher. Meanwhile, with one out, little roller foul outside of first off the bat of Miguel Montero. 0-1 to Miguel. Catcher flied to left field in the first inning. He has some power, 12 home runs, and he's been playing very well. The strike one pitch, Montero takes low. Since the 4th of July, like a firecracker, Montero has really come alive. Since the 4th of July, he's hitting .323, and he has 7 extra base hits. The 1-1 pitch to the catcher, that dips in nicely for a strike. Over that same stretch, he's driven in 14 runs. And what makes Montero so important, with runners in scoring position, he's batting .368. So he's one tough hombre up there. 1-2. Billingsley delivers, and it's fouled away. Miguel Montero, the All-Star from Caracas in Venezuela. He is very productive in driving in runners from second base. He's also very good in advancing runners from second base with nobody out. 1-2 pitch, and Montero swings and misses, and down he goes. So Billingsley now, thanks to that great catch by Andre Ethier, has retired 5 in a row.
Number 24, center fielder Chris
2 out
Young.
in the third inning, and Chris Young coming up. Young normally gives Billingsley a bad time with 3 home runs. Chris, in last night's game, had a walk. Otherwise 0 for 3, scored a run. Batting .250. Billingsley ready, fastball fouled away, and the count 0-1. Chris Young, we were talking about it last night. He is number 1 in hitting the ball in the air. There's nobody in the league who hits less grounders than Chris Young. He's also first in popping up to the infield. And last night we pointed it out, and no sooner did we mention it, he popped to short. Well, we didn't mention it tonight. In his first at bat, he popped to second. So he's consistent. 1 ball and 1 strike to Chris Young. Billingsley ready and works a slider away. Ball 2, 2-1 the count to Chris Young. Another embarrassing thing for Young. He does like to run, but he's been picked off 6 times. Young has stolen 14 out of 21. So 2-1. Here comes Billingsley, and it's foul back. 2-2 the count. Young has power. Last year he had 27 home runs. 5 years ago, actually 4 years ago, he had 32 home runs. So he can hit them. Chris out of Houston, Texas. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Don't forget now, Jason Marquis has been traded to Arizona. He will pitch against the Giants. Billingsley ready, in the 2-2 pitch on the way. Ground ball wide of third. Blake is on it and makes the throw. So that's 6 in a row retired by Billingsley after the single by Parra. And at the end of 2.5 innings, 1-0 D-backs. Bottom of the third. Overhead is a magnificent view tonight. Looks like a lot of pink feathers that have just been tossed up against the blue sky. It is glorious. Meanwhile, down on earth, Chad Billingsley takes a strike, 0-1. Billingsley, Gwynn, and Blake in that order. Mike Owings comes back, 0-1. Fastball stroked to center. Young on the dead run picks it off. So Chad hits it hard and lines out to center, 1 away. So you're hitting the road. You can take the Dodgers with you. Subscribe to MLB.TV today. See every Dodger game live or on demand on your computer and your favorite devices. Visit Dodgers.com to order, and you'll get more details. MLB.TV, baseball everywhere. 1 away as Billingsley sends a rope right out to Chris Young. Now here's Tony Gwynn, who popped up in the first inning. A threat to bunt, so they pull up the corners, both Roberts and Allen. Owings turns on the rubber. Big right-hander deals. Tony shows bunt, takes a strike, and the count 0-1. Tony Gwynn, you put your finger on the 26th of June, and since that day, he's hitting .310. Up until that day, going back to the end of March, he was hitting only .215. The strike one pitch. He promptly bangs this to the gap, and that's going to go to the wall, and a rabbit is loose. Tony is around second, on his way to third. The throw not in time. Tony Gwynn triples into the gap in right center field. And with a belly whopper, he's in there. For Tony, he has 9 doubles, and that's his 4th triple. Fielded by Upton, who got it back to the infield, but Tony had third. Throw came in reasonably close, but it was high, and Roberts had to go up to get it. So Gwynn, with his uniform filthy dirty, he'll take it with the triple. And now trying to pick him up is Casey Blake, who hits a fly ball to center. Under it is Chris Young, and he's not even going to bother. And tagging up and coming in is Gwynn to tie it up. So the runs come in on a sacrifice fly by Bloomquist to score Allen, and the sacrifice fly by Blake to score Tony Gwynn, who had tripled. So with a 1-1 tie here in the third, Andre Ethier coming up. And of course, without Ethier, this might be a totally different game. On the ball hit by Kelly Johnson in the second inning, Ethier made a tremendous catch. It meant 2 runs were shut off from scoring, and it might have continued the inning because Upton would have followed Kelly Johnson. Andre takes a strike, and the count 0-1. Andre last night hit on the point of the right elbow. He says it's sore, but it's okay, but he still has protective covering on that elbow. Strike one pitch on the way is inside. 1 ball and 1 strike to Andre Ethier. Ethier being nailed last night. That's the 3rd time this year that he's been hit. We have a 1-1 tie in the third. Mike Owings ready and comes back 1-1. That's whacked into right. A hopper that's gloved by Upton. Andre will turn and hold on with a line drive single. His first at bat, he hit a shot that righted Brandon Allen, the first baseman. So Ethier a single, and that will bring up Matt Kemp, and another chance for Matt to give the Diamondbacks a bad time. Kemp single to left in the second inning, stole second, got to third, but they left him there. Now he comes up with Ethier at first, 2 out, the run in a 1-1 tie. Matt hitting .315. He has done everything so well, and the pitch to him is taken inside ball 1. Prior to tonight, Kemp coming into the game was 2 for 9 against Owings. That'll be about a .222 batting average. 1 ball and no strikes. Owings keeping an eye on Ethier. Now the right-hander delivers and Kemp takes off the plate. Ethier does not do any running. The biggest reason is not that he's so slow, but Andre Ethier doesn't run because they don't want to take an opportunity away from Matt Kemp. No sense having Ethier thrown out and Kemp deprived of an at-bat with a man aboard. He swings and fouls it back, and the count 2-1. 1 run, 4 hits for the D-backs. 1 run, 3 hits for the Dodgers. Gwynn tripled into the gap, and Blake's fly ball picked him up. By the way, for Casey Blake, marking his return, that was his 19th run batted in. 2-1. Ethier off the bag, held on by Allen. Kemp swing and hits a long drive. Back goes Chris Young, looking up at the wall. It is gone. Kemp has hit another, and the Dodgers lead 3-1. You know, you get the feeling that one day the word will get out to all the managers and all the pitchers. You know, it wouldn't be a bad idea not to let this guy hit the ball. So Matt drives it out, and the Dodgers take a 3-1 lead. He now has driven in 7 with that long fly ball. Chris Young went back as if he had a play and then just ran out of real estate. For Matt Kemp, he now has 26 home runs. He has 82 runs batted in, and he has stolen 28 out of 31. Incredible. And on a pace for a 40-40 season. So 3-1 Dodgers, and the batter now Rivera, and he has a check swing foul. 0-2 the count. Matt Kemp is in the zone without a doubt. I just wonder why they ever give him anything to hit. I mean, why not one slider after another? If he chases, fine. If he doesn't, so he's aboard. 0-2 the count to Rivera. And the next one foul back. For Micah Owings, by the way, that's only the 4th home run that he's allowed. So he's stingy, but Kemp was able to get to the cookie jar anyway. 3-1 Dodgers, bottom of the 3rd. Each side with 4 hits. Rivera, who fly deep to center, back up there and grounds one slowly to short. In front of short is Roberts to throw him out. However, Matt Kemp does it again. Gwynn triples, Ethier singles, and Matt hits it out. 3-1 Dodgers.
$300 shopping spree at the team store. Tonight's winning combination is 74, 30, 11. Enter now on KCAL9.com/clubhouse combo. Brought to you by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa.
They keep pitching to him, and Matt Kemp keeps hitting him out, and the Dodgers lead 3-1 in the fourth inning. It'll be Allen, Roberts, and Parra against Chad Billingsley. Pop foul off to the left. Come back. And there goes Barajas. And thank goodness Trey Hillman was there to handle him, make sure he didn't take a header. Rod will do anything to catch a ball. We have seen him go into the stands, crash into the screen. He's not going to quit. And now a very dangerous effort, and Hillman able to hold him before his head hit the concrete. So another great hustle effort by Rod Barajas, and Allen still up there 0-1. And hard ground ball base hit. That is the fifth single for Arizona. And they've only played 3 innings.
Number 14, third baseman.
And now
Roberts.
The batter is Roberts. He's singled. So here we are after 3 innings. Johnson is singled. Upton is singled. Roberts is singled. Parra has singled. Now Allen is singled. But Kemp homered. That's the difference. 3-1 in favor of the Dodgers. Roberts singled up the middle in the second inning. Roberts has 14 home runs. Off speed, but it missed. 1 ball and no strikes. We've talked about it before. He has a lot of tattoos. He has his initials RR. He also has the words written, "Only the strong survive." 1 ball and no strikes. Ryan Roberts out of Fort Worth, Texas. And he lifts one to Ethier, who started back. Now he has to come in. So 1 away on the fly ball to right. Brandon Allen, the first baseman, holding. And Gerardo Parra coming up.
Fielder, Gerardo Parra.
Parra, as we mentioned, has been very hot since the middle of May. He had a bad wrist. He was hit by a pitch, but he has that average at 287. Gerardo Parra is 24 years old, from the Dominican Republic. He was originally signed by the D-backs 7 years ago. Oh, 1. Parra, they tell me, quite a student of the game. He doesn't look that big, but he's listed 6 feet, 195. He hit a home run in his first major league at bat, which is a great way to start the career. 0-2. That was back in July of 2009. He was the 100th player to hit a home run in his first major league at bat. Johnny Cueto was pitching for the Reds, and he hit it into the right field stands at Chase Field over in Arizona. 0-2 to Gerardo Parra. 1-2. So Chad Billingsley gave up a run in the second inning. He's escaped big damage in the first inning and in the second. And then he got the lift, Matt Kemp's home run, to give him the lead. 1-2. And down goes Parra. Nothing fancy. High fastball to blow him away. And the batter now, Micah Owens. 3 strikeouts for Chad Billingsley.
Number 15, pitcher Micah Owens.
Owens came up with the bases loaded in the second inning and struck out. 2 out, top of the 4th. Dodgers 3, D-backs 1. Left-hander Joe Saunders tomorrow, and Joe will go up against the Dodgers' Ruby De La Rosa. Ball 1. 3 runs, 4 hits for the Dodgers. 1 run, 5 hits for Arizona. Arizona last night had 3 home runs, but all with the bases empty. Matt Kemp last night hit a 3-run home run and then a 2-run home run tonight. 1-0 the count. Owings with Willie Bloomquist on deck. Allen doesn't figure to do any running over there at first with the pitcher at the plate. And there's a line drive base hit into left field. That's the way Owings would swing when he's pitching every 5th day. That's the kind of an at-bat that we remember Owings having
Number 18,
until he went into the bullpen.
Willie Bloomquist.
So for Chad Billingsley, fortunately, with the bases loaded, he struck him out. Now with 2 out, he gives up the single. We're in the 4th inning, and the D-backs have a half a dozen hits, all singles and only 1 run. Willie Bloomquist grounded to short and had a scoring fly ball to right field in the 2nd inning. Sacrifice picked up Brandon Allen. Now he's trying to pick Allen up from second base. Bloomquist, as a youngster coming out of high school, he had a lot of colleges who wanted to give him a baseball scholarship. So they spotted his ability very early. I mean, Rice University in Texas wanted him. Notre Dame wanted him. Arizona State, University of Washington, SC showed interest. Then he finally went to Arizona State. 0-1 to Willie. And a comebacker. And Billingsley, thank you very much. And the inning is over. And the D-backs leave 2. They've left 2 in each of the first 2 innings, so they've left 6 now. And it's still 3-1 Dodgers. Your $6 burgers made with 100% Black Angus beef. And by the Jeep brand. We don't just make SUVs, we make history. Bottom of the 4th inning on this lovely summer's evening. Dodgers lead the D-backs 3-1. And the word is out, especially here playing Arizona, the Giants are going all out to repeat. You know that the Giants gave up a top prospect for Carlos Beltran. And tonight, just a few minutes ago, the Cleveland Indians announced a deal with the Giants. Orlando Cabrera goes to the Giants to play shortstop for a minor leaguer. A AAA outfielder will be going to Cleveland. The Cleveland Indians early picked up pitcher Ubaldo Jimenez. But by getting Orlando Cabrera, the Giants get somebody who is really a winner. It's hard to believe, but Orlando Cabrera has the mark of a champ. The pitch to Miles, 1 ball, 1 strike. 2004, he went to the Red Sox. They went on to win the World Series. 2005, he got the Angels into the division series, and again in 2007. In 2008, he had a big part of the Chicago White Sox success. In 2009, he moved to the Minnesota Twins and led them. And then last year, sure enough, the same magic with Cincinnati. So the Giants have Orlando Cabrera, and that just makes them even tougher, especially with the veteran Miguel Tejada down. Chad Billingsley will always and forever remember Orlando Cabrera. So will we. That game in Anaheim, Cabrera playing for the Angels and stole home against Chad. The 1-2 pitch to Miles. That's hit to the gap in right center. Trying to cut it off is Young. He can't do it. And that means Miles into second, standing with a double. So the Dodgers have 5 hits, including a single, a double, a triple, and a home run. Dodgers hitting for the cycle against Michael Owings. And Rod Barajas coming up. For Owings, he's getting hurt early in the at-bats. In the second inning, Matt Kemp opened up with a single to left. In the third inning, after Billingsley lined out, Tony Gwynn tripled. And now here in the fourth inning, Miles leads off with a double, and the batter is Barajas. Foul ball. 0-1 to Rod. He walked in the second inning. So the Giants lost. The D-backs are well aware of that. They were probably watching the Giants-Cincinnati game before this game. And the Dodgers did nothing else, tormenting them, leading 3-1 and looking for more. 0-1. Oh and 2. Michael Owings is certainly an experienced pitcher. He came up to the Diamondbacks in 2007, left then to spend 3 years with the Reds, and now he's come back. 0-2. Hit foul, out of play. We're talking about Michael Owings and his improvement from being with the Reds and the way he's been pitching this year. When he was in the bullpen, he inherited 10 runners and did not allow any of them to score. 0-2 the count to Rod Barajas. 3-1 Dodgers, fourth. One and 2. Basically, with Owings, you'll get a fastball that's been clocked as high as 97. He hasn't come close to doing that. Then a slider and a changeup. Little things can mean so much in the art of becoming a major league pitcher. Fouled away. One of the things late in the 2007 season, Micah moved the ball back further in his hand. What that did, it took about 5 to 8 miles off his changeup, making it even slower. It was almost like an eephus pitch. It seemed to take so much off. We haven't seen him throw many of them tonight. 1-2 to Barajas. And slider, that's going to get Miles to third. The out will be recorded at first. So a good bit of hitting And Barajas had to go down to get that slider and was able to make contact and advance the runner. So 1 out. Well, here's a look at how our text message voting is going. We asked which recently acquired outfielder will make a bigger impact down the stretch. Carlos Beltran with the Giants or Hunter Pence with the Phillies. Right now, the early returns, 62% say Carlos Beltran. Text your answer, 86212 on your cell. The infield is up. Jamie Carroll at the plate. And let's see if the Dodgers play little ball here. Jamie takes that first pitch, 0-1. I think statistically, he swings at something like 2% of the first pitch. Owings is doing that phrase that only been recently heard in baseball. He's pitching to contact. 1-1. When Barajas swung through a pitch in this inning, that was the only swing and a miss by a Dodger hitter tonight. The only one. So they're making contact, and as we said, they've already hit for the cycle. Dodgers have a single, double, triple, and a home run. 1-1 to Carroll. We're watching Miles. So is Owings. He's not coming. 1-2. So with 2 strikes, you pretty much figure the squeeze is not on. But you never know. Carroll looking down to Wallach, who says something to Miles. Carroll has 4 bunts, 4 sacrifices. One and 2. Miles not coming, and it's a foul ball. Still 1-2. Dodgers 3 runs, 5 hits. D-backs 1 run, 6 singles. The Dodgers have a single by Kemp, a double by Miles, a triple by Gwynn, and a home run by Kemp. You can also throw in a single by Ethier. One and 2. Another foul ball. For Carroll, he has walked 33 times and he has struck out 37 times, and we're talking about a lot of plate appearances, about 330 plate appearances. Miles has not shown any inclination to come down the line too far. Still 1-2 to Jamie Carroll. Miles not coming, and a base hit. The Carroll singles. Dodgers lead 4-1. Nice bit of hitting, picking up Aaron Miles. Jamie Carroll. Wow. He has just been remarkable. And a shot up the middle. So Carroll's base hit picks up Miles. Dodgers now open it up a little bit. They lead 4-1. And Chad Billingsley, who lined out in the 3rd inning coming up, and the D-backs are looking bunt. Dodgers have won 5 of the last 6, and they like to beat the D-backs to split 8 meetings with Arizona. Runner going, hit and run, line drive, knocks Owings down. They get the out, and let's see if the big guy's okay. Wow. I think he got his glove up in his face to deflect it. Boy, was that close. Bill Billingsley, who had lined out earlier, just knocked down a big tree. Mike Owings at 6'5", and he went down in sections. He's saying he's okay. I think he got his glove up. Take another look. But that thing was right at him. Yep. Went off the glove, and he went down. Deflected to Kelly Johnson. So if you're scoring, it's a 1-4-3 play. And Jamie Carroll is at second base. The most horrifying thing I think we've seen on that kind of a play was here at Dodger Stadium so many years ago. If I had to guess, it would be in the early 60s. Dodgers were playing the New York Mets, and the Mets had a little left-hander named Alvin Jackson, who wore his cap, and the bill of the cap pulled right down over the eyebrows of his eyes. And Frank Howard, big Frank Howard, who hit the ball as hard and as far as anyone who ever played the game, came up against Jackson. That's a fly ball to shallow center. Here comes Chris Young to make the catch. Anyway, Frank Howard hit a line drive between Alvin Jackson's legs into center field. I swear to you, it took 5 minutes before Jackson could pitch again. And at the end of 4-1 Dodgers. Nine is brought to you by 76 Gas, proud sponsors of the Los Angeles Dodgers. 76, we're on the driver's side. And by Dodge. Visit Dodge.com or your local dealer today. Dodgers lead the D-backs 4-1 as we go to the fifth inning. Thank goodness Mike Owen got a scare, but nothing else. I'm sure we were talking about Frank Howard and Alvin Jackson. Kelly Johnson a strike. And of course many of you immediately will say, what about Kaz Ishii, who was hit right in the forehead here in the ballpark? Yeah, there have been a lot of them. 0-1. And that's almost took the heels of Billingsley, and Carroll throws him out. So one away in the fifth inning. Justin Upton coming up.
Right fielder Justin
right
Upton.
there. He just did get that left foot out of the way. And then Jamie makes the play. One out, fifth inning. Justin Upton single to right and grounded to short. Young right fielder 1 for 2. Boy, what ability he has. His dad was a baseball and football star at Norfolk State. He's now a referee in basketball games. Justin will be 24, 25th of August. And a pop foul coming over as Rivera. Boy, have the Dodgers done a number on Justin Upton. Let's take a look at what the Dodgers have in front of them right now. Tomorrow, that'll be the left-hander Joe Saunders against the Dodgers' Ruby De La Rosa on prime ticket at 1. And then we go to San Diego, 7 o'clock Monday night on prime, Tuesday at 7 on KCAL 9, and the same story Wednesday night on KCAL 9. And then Dodgers go right back to Arizona to play the D-backs again. So here's Montero, a strike. Chris Young on deck. Last night the D-backs got a run in the second inning and led 1-0. And the Dodgers just turned the game around. They scored 3 in the third. And tonight it's a repeat for the West Coast. D-backs scored a run in the second. Dodgers scored 3 in the third. Added another and lead 4-1 in the fifth. 0-2. 1-2. Chad trying to win his 10th and trying to beat Arizona for the 10th time in his career. For Billingsley, he could use a victory against Arizona. You may remember back in the middle of May, he pitched here, lost 1-0 to Arizona on an unearned run while striking out 8. 1-2. 2-2. Billingsley has struck out 3. Michael Owings has struck out 1. 2-2. Little roller. Billingsley can't get it. Miles can, and that'll be that. So Billingsley is settling in now, and at the end of 4.5 innings, 4-1 Dodgers. In the second inning, Andre Ethier with runners at second and third kept them there with that great catch. And in the third inning, Matt Kemp hits one over the wall in deepest left center for a 3-run home run. And the Dodgers added another and lead 4-1. Dodger outfield, well, among other things, Ethier has a base hit as well as that tremendous catch. Kemp has a single and the 2-run home run. And for good measure, left fielder Tony Gwynn had that long triple and scored. So the outfield has indeed been heard from. And here's Casey Blake. Shows bunt. 1 ball and no strikes. Casey struck out and then had the scoring fly ball. The sacrifice picked up Gwynn from third. 2-0. Michael Owings down 4-1 in the fifth. Ground ball, foul. No play. 2-1. Four runs, 6 hits for the Dodgers. 1 run, 6 hits for the D-backs. But the Dodger hits, they've managed to hit for the cycle. Single, double, triple, home run. 2-1. Ball 3. Left-handed Joe Saunders, Ruby De La Rosa tomorrow, 1 o'clock. Hope you'll be out here with us. If not, it'll be on Prime Ticket. Popped up. Ryan Roberts is calling. 1 away. That'll bring up Andre Ethier. So Kemp 0 for 2 with a run batted in. Coming back off the DL. Ethier grounded sharply to first, lined a single to right, and then they pitched to Kemp, who hit the home run. But Andre's biggest contribution was in the second inning. 2 out, runners at second and third. The left-hand hitting second baseman Kelly Johnson came up and hit it over Andre's head, and I mean he hit it. And Andre made a tremendous catch. First ball swinging, a drive to left center. Young is calling, look out. Almost a collision out there with Gerardo Parra. It's the old battle cry. The center fielder is the captain. Every club has always said the center fielder gets what he can get. And Parra just did get out of the way. So Young handles that fly ball. Parra avoids a collision. And Matt Kemp coming up. Talking about memories, I'll always remember a titanic collision with the Cincinnati Reds. They had Vada Pinson, their center fielder, and big Frank Robinson, the left fielder, and I mean they really collided. It had to register on the Richter scale. Fortunately, both men were all right. 1-1 the count to Matt. Look at those numbers. Tied for third in batting, second in home runs, first in RBIs. Two and one. It's amazing to me that they pitch to him. Maybe not to you, but we look at him every day. We see him punching holes in opposition teams. And you keep thinking, why did they try? Matt got that on the foot. 2-2 the count. Yep. The toes of the left foot. Too bad they couldn't invent a safety shoe that you could run in to protect fellas from that foul ball. A baseball weighs technically about 5 to 5 1/4 ounces. But when it's moving around 90 and you hit it off your foot, ankle, instep, whatever, feels like a lot more than 5 1/4 ounces. 2-2. Chased it. Yeah, that's well. Down go the Dodgers. 1, 2, 3, and at the end of 5, it's 4-1 Dodgers. 1968 in Dodger history. They were playing in the Astrodome in Houston. Ground ball to first base, took a bad hop, and Wes Parker didn't come up with it. It was ruled an error by the Texas official scorer. That was the only error that Wes Parker made in 1,009 chances. He also won 6 gloves, and I would say he was as good a fielding first baseman maybe that ever played the game. And with that, let's go back to this one. Tonight has been Navy night here at Dodger Stadium. We had the leapfrogs, the Navy SEALs coming out of the heavens. They went out of their airplane at 6,500 feet and parachute into the ballpark. It is thrilling to say the least. And we have hundreds and hundreds of sailors from all of the various ships that are here for Navy Week. Chris Young a strike. He is popped up, grounded out. Chris 0 for 2, hitting .249, 16 home runs, 52 runs batted in. And a ground ball base hit by the diving Carroll. So Young a single left. You know, tomorrow at 1:10, Dodgers and the D-backs and fans will take home their very own Dodger sports bag, compliments of United Airlines. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com/promotions. Brandon Allen walked and singled. Allen scored the only run. There goes Young. The pitch outside. Barajas throw not in time. Awfully close. And for Young, he has now stolen 15 out of 22. Barajas, good strong throw. Just missed him. So the D-backs get a man at second base. Allen reached second in the 4th inning. 4-1 Dodgers in the 6th. One and one. Being Navy night at Dodger Stadium, Navy Appreciation Night, before the game, we had the U.S. members of the Navy Band Southwest, one of the Navy's finest and oldest continuing musical organization. They're based in Coronado. We had so many ships mentioned. One of them, of course, always draws the biggest crowds, and that would be the aircraft carrier Abraham Lincoln. 2-1 the count. That runs the count to 3-1. So Billingsley, who has given up 7 hits, but they're all singles, and the Dodgers, as we said, have hit for the cycle. So Young at second, nobody out. Whoops, very high. So Allen draws a walk. He's had 2 walks and a single. Ryan Roberts will be coming up. 80 pitches
Number
made
14,
by Chad Billingsley.
Third baseman Ryan Roberts.
And Ryan Roberts coming in. We wanted to salute them, and we needed to check a list. But we're welcoming the officers and crews of a minesweeper, USS Champion, a guided missile cruiser, the USS Princeton, a guided missile destroyer based in Pearl Harbor, the USS Chaffee, and the USS Abraham Lincoln, an aircraft carrier down from Everett, Washington. So it's been a big night, and we are honored indeed to have them here. 2 on, nobody out. And ball 1 to Ryan Roberts. Ryan checking with Matt Williams. Roberts with 14 home runs. He carries that number on his back. One swing and he can tie up the game for you. They have Young at second, Allen at first, nobody out. And ball two. Billingsley perhaps suddenly out of rhythm. A little concern in the Dodger dugout. And hold everything. Rick Honeycutt, after that last pitch, has to go out there. Chad was way out of rhythm on that delivery. For the Diamondbacks, they've been retired in order in the third and in the fifth, but they've just been leaving people. 2 in the first, 2 in the second, 2 in the fourth, and they have 2 on and nobody out here in the sixth. And one thing about Arizona, just like Kirk Gibson, the player, they never quit. Last night, the Dodgers kept getting out in front, and the D-backs kept battling back, and finally it wound up 9-5. But even then, D-backs had 2 men on base in the ninth inning. So they're not going to quit for Kirk, that's for sure. 2 on, nobody out, and 2-0 the count to Ryan Roberts. Roberts single to center, fly to right. And a little high, ball 3. On deck, the left-hand hitter, Gerardo Parra. So Billingsley is battling to stay in the game, leading 4-1. 3-0 to Roberts. And with his power, you thought he might pull the trigger. 3-1. Telephone apparently ringing in the Dodger bullpen. They're kind of moving around out there. No one's throwing yet. Three and 1 to Ryan Roberts. And ball 4. So back in the second inning, Arizona had the bases loaded and nobody out, and they scored 1.
Left fielder.
And for the second time tonight, they have the bases loaded and nobody out. Mattingly and Honeycutt putting their heads together. Gerardo Parra single to right and struck out. So the left-hand hitter, who has been doing very well since the middle of May, he's been hitting .308, and as you can see, very big numbers with the bases loaded. 429, no slams. And a strike. 0-1. Billingsley's pitch count is up to 86. Young, Allen, and Roberts are all out there. 0-1. 0-2. Parra struck out back in the fourth inning with 2 on and nobody out. He has struck out almost twice as many times as he has walked. Matt Guerrier is up in the Dodger bullpen. Oh, and 2. And in the dirt. 1-2 the count to Gerardo Parra. Xavier Nady now comes out on deck for Arizona. Nady in last night's game started at first base when 1 for 4, a double. So Young, Allen, and Roberts all out on the lines, nobody out. 1-2 the count to Parra. 2-2. And now Chad Billingsley is ready to make his 90th pitch, and Don Mattingly appears to be agonizing over every pitch. 2-2. And in the dirt, and an awkward follow through as well. The 3-2 the count with the bases loaded and nobody out. 4-1 Dodgers. Watch this. See him fall away, turning it back on the hitter. Chad now has made 90 pitches. All the runners take their leads, and the pitch very high. Another awkward follow through. The Chad has walked 3 in a row after the leadoff single. That scores Young. It gives Parra a run batted in, and now Xavier Nady is coming up to hit with the bases loaded, nobody out, and the Dodger lead is 4-2. Nady 2 for 7 with a home run in the past against Billingsley. Rod Barajas going out to talk as Nady is announced. Xavier Nady, born up in Carmel, still lives in that part of the country. As a position player, once in a while you hear about it. Xavier not only had the Tommy John surgery, he had it twice. Now he has 4 RBIs coming off the bench. That would make him 7th in the league. So it's a big at bat for Nady, not to mention what it means to Billingsley. And a high fly ball to right. It's going to be caught. However, the run is tagged, and on the catch, here comes run number 3, and the Dodger lead is 4-3 as Allen brings it in, and Nady picks up the run batted in with the drive to right field. More importantly on that ball, Ryan Roberts is now at third, and the tying run is just 90 feet away with 1 out, and Willie Bloomquist coming up. Parra at first, Roberts at third. 2 runs are in, and the D-backs are right back in the game. Dodgers 4, Arizona 3. Bloomquist grounded to short, had a sacrifice fly, and hit back to the box. So he's 0 for 2 with a run batted in, hitting .279. Parra held on by Rivera, and they're going to take an eye on him for sure. Parra has stolen 7 out of 8. So in the inning, Young singled and stole second. Allen walked. Roberts walked. Parra walked to force in a run. Nady's scoring fly ball picked up another. Tying run, Roberts at third. And that's a strike. Bloomquist apparently a little unhappy with Joe West's call, and Joe is just looking at him. Willie shaking his head no, no way that's a strike. Joe tapping his wrist with his indicator. They have to worry about him. Gerardo Parra has stolen 7 out of 8. Good speed. Parra with a lot to say to Rivera. He's from the Dominican and Rivera's from Venezuela. 0-1. And a foul ball down the line, out of play. With the tying run at third, Billingsley has 3 wild pitches and a nice catch upstairs. Dodgers 4, D-backs 3, 1 out, top of the 6th inning. Big at bat for Willie Bloomquist, who has grounded into 2 double plays in 58 games. Lays off that pitch up. 1-2 the count. Of course, in Willie's mind, the count should be 2-1. Four runs, 6 hits for the Dodgers. 3 runs, 7 hits. All 7 singles for Arizona, plus 3 walks in this inning and 4 walks in the game. 1-2. And got him. frozen at the plate. So Bloomquist caught looking with the tying run at third. That'll make any hitter shake his head.
Number 2, second baseman Kelly Johnson.
So Willie restraining himself without getting thrown out. Of course, he's a veteran. He's been around a long time. So that's a huge strikeout. And now here's Kelly Johnson. It was Johnson in the second inning who hit that ball to deep right, on which Andre Ethier made a great play to save 2 runs. First and third, 2 out. And a strike to Kelly Johnson. Johnson singled, lost an extra base hit on Ethier's play and grounded to short. Kelly has a lot of trouble making contact. He has struck out 111 times while hitting 17 home runs, but he's only batting .218. Way outside, 1-1 to count. So Billingsley has made his way through 98 pitches. Kelly Johnson has struck out about 27% of all of his at-bats. 1-1. Ball 2. 2-1. Interesting with Kelly, with all of his strikeouts, more than 50% of his hits are for extra bases. He has 19 doubles, 4 triples, 17 home runs. He can be trouble. 2-1 to count. Ground foul. Kelly last year for Arizona had 26 home runs, 71 runs batted in, and hit .284. So he's really off his feed, hitting only .218. For Billingsley, another tough inning. This will be his 28th pitch of the inning. He made 25 pitches in the second inning. And he goes 3-2. I tell you, his manager's really been twisting and turning. Chad now has made 101 pitches. Parra will be going from first. Roberts down the line from third. And remember, Justin Upton is on deck. So this is a huge pitch. 3-2. Way outside. The bases are loaded. And we'll see now if Mattingly is going to go out there or not. For Chad, he has walked 4 in the inning. And here comes the skipper with a hook. But before he goes out, Honeycutt wants to make sure Guerrier is ready in the pen. Billingsley scheduled a pitch to Upton, but he's not going to do it. Upton was hitting only 167 against Billingsley coming into the game, and he is 1 for 3 with 1 home run. For Chad, 2 big innings, 25 pitches in the second inning, 29 pitches in the sixth. He's made a total of 103. He could still win because as the starter he went the required 5, but he could also lose depending upon what Guerrier does, and we'll be back. 103 pitches. He gave up a lot of singles, but he was sailing along, and then suddenly looked like he was totally out of rhythm in watching his follow-throughs, and he walked 4, gave up a single and a scoring fly ball, and they had to come and get him. 103 pitches. Now, Justin Upton, who homered against Guerrier, will check in with the bases loaded. 0-1. Justin Upton has 2 career grand slams. The last one he hit against Colorado last year, July 23rd to be exact. His home run came in the 7th inning last night with the bases empty, and he dispatched it in a hurry over the center field wall. Bases loaded, 2 out. Dodgers lead 4-3. Diamondbacks have stranded 6, though they have an ample opportunity to score a bunch. 1 ball and 1 strike. Upton, 21 home runs, 62 runs batted in. Certainly one of the most outstanding young players in the game today. He has Roberts at third, Parra at second, and Johnson at first with 2 out. And sliced into right center, a long base hit. Kemp has to go to the track, and it gets away from him. All 3 runs will score on a double by Upton. And so Upton, who hit the home run last night, chases home 3 with a long double. Matt Kemp had a little trouble trying to get the ball, but Upton runs so well, I'm sure he's going to get the double and 3 ribbies.
Number 26, catcher Miguel Montero.
So Upton, his second hit, 3 runs batted in. Everybody comes in. It's a 5-run inning, and the D-backs lead the Dodgers 6-4. So with the talent of Justin Upton, it's just a matter of time. They're going to walk Montero, and in a moment, Chris Young, who began the inning with a base hit, will be coming up. So a big double for Justin Upton. Coming into this series, as Billingsley heads for the showers, coming into this series, Upton was 1 for 22 against the Dodgers. Last night he went 1 for 5. That made him 2 for 27. And then tonight he's come up 2 for 4 and the big double. So it's a high 5 for the D-backs. They lead 6-4. They have runners at first and second. And the batter is Chris Young, who began it all against Billingsley with a single allowed. For Upton, he had that home run last night. He has the double tonight, so he's hit safely now in 11 straight. But what's more impressive, he has had an extra base hit in 10 straight games. And that makes him even more special. You get your name mentioned with some of the really famous names. When you have that kind of a streak, that's popped up around the mound. It'll be Casey Blake. So Young pops it up. Blake makes the catch. 10 men come to the plate in the 6th inning. 5 come home, and it's 6-4 Arizona. brought to you by Sports Authority, the official sporting goods retailer of the Los Angeles Dodgers, and by Universal Studios Hollywood, the entertainment capital of L.A. We have a moment. Here's a look at how our text message voting is going so far. We asked which recently acquired outfielder will make a bigger impact down the stretch, Carlos Beltran with the Giants or Hunter Pence with the Phillies. Suddenly we've turned it around now. 58% of you say Hunter Pence. So text your answer, 86212 on your cell. Chad Billingsley had a rough night, one particular area. He walked 5 men in the game, and all 5 scored. And, of course, Justin Upton really chased him with that long double with the bases loaded. So Billingsley goes out losing 6-4. And now a fellow who was just called up today, and that's Ryan Cook. He was playing AAA Reno, and Alberto Castillo went on the DL list. So Ryan Cook hurriedly brought back up. Ryan Cook, who went to school at USC. He lives in Clovis, California, graduate of Clovis High School. And starts off ball 1 to Juan Rivera. Cook, 24 years old and just turned it. Fastball strike, 1-1. Ryan 6'2", about 217. 1 ball, 1 strike. Whoops, no pitch. Time at the plate. The Achilles heel for Arizona has been their bullpen. They will sink or swim with it. And for Kirk, he knows that's been a very, very vulnerable area. 1-2. When you look at the bullpen, however, it has improved. As shaky as it has been, it's still improved over last year. Bullpen this year is 115. Last year, the bullpen lost 32. 1-2. Fastball hit over the head of Kelly Johnson. Base hit. So Rivera, a single to right to go 1 for 3. 7 hits for the Dodgers. And now Aaron Miles coming up. Aaron Miles grounded out and doubled, scored a run back in the 4th inning. D-backs led 1-0 at the end of 2 innings. Dodgers led 4-1 at the end of 4 innings. And then the D-backs hung a 5 on the board to take a 6-4 lead. That's ball 1. Aaron batting .308. Rod Barajas hitting back of him. One and 1. A lot of movement by Ryan Cook. It's not a smooth, easy delivery by any means, but it also might be tough to find the ball. Seems like a lot of elbows coming out of the stretch. 1-1 to Miles. Fastball, little nubber. Cook flips to first. On the play, Rivera moves along. And with 1 out, Dodgers have a runner at second. Rod Barajas coming up. And a reminder, Tuesday, August 9th, Duke Snyder bobblehead night, presented by State Farm. Dodgers celebrating the life of the Hall of Famer when they face the Phillies at 7:10. To take home your own mini Duke of Flatbush, visit Dodgers.com/promotions. So Ryan Cook making his major league debut tonight. He's been a pro for only 3 years. And a strike to Rod Barajas. Alberto Castilla pitched in the 7th inning last night, made 27 pitches and apparently hurt himself, so they had to rush up Cook. 1-1 the count. V-back 6 runs, 8 hits. Dodgers 4 runs, 7 hits. I guess you could say it's a battle between Matt Kemp and Justin Upton. 1-1. High and tight. Barajas hitting .211 as he squares away. Juan Rivera at second base, 1 out. Two and one. Johnson fakes to the bag at second. Good pitch in there. 2-2. Giants lost, so Arizona trying to get to within 3, trying to snap their own little 2-game losing streak. Down in the bullpen, Joe Patterson, a left-hander whom we saw briefly last night, is warming up. And Barajas goes down, so 2 out, and Jamie Carroll coming up.
Number 14, shortstop Jamie Carroll.
Too many cooks spoil the broth. The Dodgers saw Aaron Cook with Colorado. He went 7 innings and shut him out. Now Ryan Cook facing Carroll, and Trent Olgen, the left-hand hitter, is on deck to bat for Guerrier. Ball 1. Jamie grounded out, single to center to score Miles back in the 4th inning. Ball 2. Montero, the veteran, talking to the rookie, pitching his first major league game in a tough pennant race and trying to protect a 6-4 lead. The starting pitchers are of record. They each went 5, in Billingsley's case 5 2/3. 2 balls and no strikes to Jamie Carroll. Off the plate, Olsen, who is in the on-deck circle, is called back. James Loney now has the helmet on, holding a bat in the dugout. And Dave Hansen talking to Loney as to what they might expect. And that's ball 4 to Carroll. I would guess that's all for Cook. Only in the sense, once Loney is announced, they have the left-hander Patterson in the pen. We'll wait and see. That's what Kirk Gibson is doing. So Loney, not Olsen, is coming up. And we'll see if Kirk makes the move. Yep, here he comes. So Cook will come out with the tying runs on and 2 out. And the left-handed Joe Patterson, who pitched briefly to get 1 out in the 4th inning last night. So Patterson will be coming in. Cook, in his major league debut, comes out, and we'll be back. 4. The Dodgers have the runners aboard to tie it up at first and second. And they now bring in Joe Patterson to pick up for Cook. And Joe Patterson will be facing James Loney. Joe, 25 years old, born in Oakland and lives in Corvallis, Oregon. He went to school at Oregon State. Coming into this series, he had inherited 30 base runners and allowed 8 to score. One other note, James Loney is hitting .195 against left-hand pitching, and Joe will come by way of first base. And a big flat curveball in for a strike, and they count 0-1. It's not his stuff, it's his angle. Fastball and a curveball. We just saw the sweeping curve, and he'll change the arm angle, almost submarine sometimes. And another roundhouse curveball and another strike. 0-2. Rivera at second, Carroll at first with 2 out. And a breaking ball tap back to the box. And an easy out at first. So it took 3 pitches to take care of James Loney. Dodgers leave 2, and at the end of 6, D-back 6, Dodgers 4. ARI 9 is brought to you by Time Warner Cable and by Nissan and your Nissan dealer. 6-4 in favor of Arizona, and the Dodgers bring in their left-hander Scott Elbert to be the 3rd Dodger pitcher of the night. Cad Billingsley 5 2/3. Guerrier got the 3rd out in the 6th inning, but not before Justin Upton drove in 3 with a double, and now Guerrier will give way to Scott Elbert. 6 runs, 8 hits for the D-backs, 4 runs, 7 hits for the Dodgers. Brandon Allen, the first baseman, will start it off. And a strike. So you have Allen, Roberts, and Parra. Both Allen and Parra left-hand batters. Brandon Allen has walked twice, singled, and scored twice. 0-2. So Allen very busy thanks to the walks. They're expecting big things from young Brandon Allen, playing a power position. At Reno last year, he had 25 home runs. When they called him up this year, he had already hit 18 at Reno. However, the players say the ball travels very well. not to diminish Allen, but to take a little of the glitter off all those home runs. Philadelphia beat Pittsburgh tonight 7-4. And down goes Allen. We mentioned earlier, I think Carlos Beltran is 1 for 14 as a member of the San Francisco Giants. Well, tonight Hunter Pence batted 5th for the Phillies. They won 7-4. Pence had a hit and an RBI. Cliff Lee beat James McDonald, who gave up home runs to Ryan Howard and Jimmy Rollins. So Pence is now a Philly. That's ball 1 to Ryan Roberts. Mentioning the Pirates, we can tell you that a National Leaguer who went over to the American League to the Baltimore Orioles is coming back to the National League. And we're talking about Derek Lee, the first baseman who spent many years with the Cubs. Well, he's been traded by Baltimore to Pittsburgh. Lee has a dozen home runs and 41 runs batted in. Pittsburgh began the day 2.5 back of Milwaukee. High pop fly and foul ground, Casey Blake. So 2 out here in the 7th inning, and the batter will be Gerardo Parra. When the Dodgers come up in the bottom of the 7th, they'll have Tony Gwynn, Casey Blake, Andre Ethier, and if anybody gets on, you know who. Parra tonight singled to right, struck out, walked, and scored a run. Tries to drag a bunt and leaves it in Barajas' mitt. Colin Cowgill, who played in left field last night, went 0 for 3, is out on deck. Should Parra extend the inning, Cowgill would bat for Patterson. 0-1. Little tapper. Barajas will take care of that. And that takes care of the D-backs in the 7th. They go 1-2-3. And we're heading for the bottom of the 7th. 6-4 D-backs. The crowd asked to join in God Bless America and take me out to the ball game.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, at this time, please rise.
And join in the singing of God Bless America. Performed tonight by Navy Counselor First Class, United States Navy, Archie Folks.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans, why we've flown. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America.
over Dodger Stadium. 6-4 Arizona. Dodgers now will have the top of the order. That means Tony Gwynn, Casey Blake, Andre Ethier against the left-hander Joe Patterson. Tony Gwynn popped up, tripled to the gap in right center, and Casey Blake's fly ball picked him up. And Gwynn flied out in the fourth inning. Tony, as we mentioned earlier, from March into the 25th of June was hitting .215. Since then, he's hitting .310. Whoops, add to that with a base hit. You know what you wonder about down in San Diego? I'll bet you they're wondering, did we give up on him too soon? Because all of a sudden he's developed into quite a fine hitter. Took a lot of hard work on his part, and I'm sure off-season instruction from his dad. But as he visits with Brandon Allen, he's really coming into his own. Brian Shaw is down in the bullpen, and that's going to be all for Patterson. They thought since he got Loney to end the inning, he could get Gwynn, but he couldn't do it, so we'll be back. With Arizona pitcher, a right-hander at 6'1", 215. He's only 23. He'll be 24 in November. He was a closer at Long Beach State 3 years ago, and the D-backs wanted to take a look at him as a possible starter, but he's back in the bullpen. He's from Livermore, California. You might remember Livermore is the hometown of Randy Johnson. Brian throws pretty hard. His fastball's been clocked at 96. A slider, curveball, and a change. And he's inherited Tony Gwynn at first as he faces Casey Blake. And there goes Tony. And the throw, a good one. And he's underneath the tag. Tony Gwynn stealing second base on a very good throw from Miguel Montero. He really got that thing down. Looked like it had him beaten, but it was just high enough that by the time Kelly brought it down, Tony was on the bag. For Gwynn, he has now stolen 15 out of 18. So a runner at second, nobody out, with Blake, Ethier, and Kemp. That's a strike. He hits 93 on the gun. Casey tonight struck out, had a sacrifice fly, and popped up. 6-4 D-backs, bottom of the seventh. Fastball, line foul. 1-2 the count to Casey Blake. Casey coming off the DL and right back in the wars. He missed 54 games due to injury. One ball and two strikes. A little roller foul. Still 1-2. So far today, we've had Jason Marquis. He goes from Washington to Arizona, and he's going to pitch against the Giants. Ubaldo Jimenez has been sent to Cleveland for some minor league players. It looks like Cleveland announced they've traded Orlando Cabrera to the Giants for a minor league outfielder. Derek Lee has moved from Baltimore to Pittsburgh. Hiroki Kuroda exercised his contract, no trade, so he's staying. And it looks like Rafael Furcal will be leaving. That's lined to right, but Upton is there. So one away. Rafael Furcal is what they call a 10-5 player. 10 years in the big leagues, 5 years with one team. It looks like the Dodgers have been offered a deal with St. Louis. If you are a 10-5 player, they automatically give you 24 hours to make the decision. I don't even know if Rafael is in the dugout. We'll take a look and see. But if he agrees, Rafael will go to St. Louis. Cardinals could use a shortstop. They're a game and a half back in Milwaukee. So one out, and here is Andre. Grounded to first, single to right, fly to center, and made a two-run saving catch. And a strike. That was 94 on the inside part of the plate. Kelly Johnson hit a ball in the second inning with 2 out and runners at second and third. Ethier made a great catch. Otherwise, the D-backs have 8 runs instead of 6, and maybe even more than that. So Kelly lost a big hit. And a strike. Throwing hard, 94 and 95 to get out in front. No balls and 2 strikes. Brian Shaw, recalled from Reno on the 20th of July. Gwynn at second with 1 out. 1-2 the count. Interesting, should Ethier makes out and Gwynn is still on base, if you were Gibson, would you pitch to Kemp and put the tying run aboard? Well, let's wait and see if Kirk has to make that decision. Little ground foul. Ethier checking the bat, and it sounded like it cracked. Didn't break, but it cracked. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Take the bat with the hit in it, I'm sure. Ethier would like to make that pick. Andre hitting .299, 10 home runs, 48 runs batted in. We're in the 7th. 6-4 D-backs. Gwynn at second with 1 out. Two and 2. 93 fastball. And another fastball low. That's all he's been throwing. And that was 96. So 3-2, 1 out. A very, very important pitch with Matt Kemp on deck. Gwynn at second, 1 out. And a little roller. Okay, if Gibson will have to make the decision. Gwynn is at third, 2 out. Matt Kemp coming out. What do you say, Kirk? Alan Trammell isn't about to say anything.
Center fielder, Matt Kemp.
Montero took his mask off for the moment and looked over at Gibson. Kirk did not make a sign. So, okay, they're going to pitch to him. Now, are they really going to pitch to him? Or is it going to be sliders down and away, hoping he'll chase one? For Brian Shaw, with a runner at third, he does not have a wild pitch. And a strike. 0-1. So for Brian, this would be certainly the biggest test that he's had since called up from Reno. Tony at third, 2 out. Time. Every time the plate umpire orders time, I look for a beach ball, don't you, if you're in the ballpark? 0-1 to Matt. And 0-2. That was a 96-mile-an-hour fastball. So Brian Shaw can hurry that thing up to the plate. He is 6'1", 215. No balls and 2 strikes. Showcase fastball at 94. 1-2. Matt Kemp batting .316, has a 3-run home run and a single tonight. 26 home runs, 82 runs batted in, and gets him on a 93 fastball. So Matt strikes out, and for Brian Shaw, that has to give him a huge boost in his career. And at the end of 7, 6-4, Arizona. Is brought to you by your Southern California Toyota dealers and by Carl's Jr. $6 burgers made with 100% Black Angus beef. As we go to the 8th inning and the D-backs trying to hold on to that 6-4 lead, Colin Cowgill will bat for Brian Shaw, who made that impressive debut and struck out Matt Kemp. Cowgill out of Lexington, Kentucky. Started last night in left field, fouls that one back, struck out, fly to right, walked, and grounded out. So Cowgill is still looking for his first hit. He is 0 for 11. This is his first appearance as a pinch hitter. On 1. One of the things that has slowed down Arizona Their base running has not been good. They don't bunt very well. They don't advance runners very well. And with all of that, if Brandon Allen talking to Chris Young, if they could win tonight, they'd be 3 back of the Giants. Both bullpens are busy. Josh Lindblom, the right-hander in the Dodger bullpen. David Hernandez, right-hander in the Arizona bullpen, and that's hit to center. And there it is. Number 1 hit for Colin Cowgill, and the boys in the dugout applaud him. And in a minute, he'll get the ball. Oh, a nice way for him to start his career.
18, shortstop,
as Cowgill, after being 0 for 11, the boy from Lexington, 25 years old, gets himself a single. Miguel Montero took care of the ball. And so Cowgill at first. And the batter now, Willie Bloomquist. Cowgill has only been a pro since 2008. He and Brian Shaw really starting off on high notes tonight. Cowgill checking with Eric Young. Cowgill at Reno this year stole 30 bases, so we know he can run. Bloomquist 0 for 3 with a sacrifice fly. Ground ball in the hole. Nice sliding stop, but the throw is too late. A good effort by Jamie Carroll, but not quite enough. Be a base hit for Bloomquist. So for Arizona,
Kelly Johnson.
They have 1 extra base hit. They have 10 hits, 9 singles, and then that killer double by Justin Upton with the bases loaded in the 6th inning. That's been the key at bat of the night. So with 2 on and nobody out, Kelly Johnson. Kelly has a single, lost the extra base hit and 2 RBIs on the catch by Andre Ethier. Since then, grounded to short and then walked. That was the last walk given up by Billingsley, and then Upton unloaded the double against Guerrier. 2 on, nobody out. You have Upton on deck. If you're thinking, Kelly Johnson has sacrificed 4 times this year. Dodgers bring up the corners, both Blake and Rivera. Strike, 0-1. So Kelly, who strikes out a lot, has power, 17 home runs, hit 26 last year. Oh and 1. On deck, Justin Upton. Cowgill at second, Bloomquist at first, nobody out. Scott Elbert in the hot spot. In the dirt, and that gets away, and the runners move up to second and third. So Elbert trying to keep the ball down and gets it into the dirt. For the left-hander, that would be his first wild pitch. So now the Dodgers have to play the infield up, which makes Kelly Johnson a tougher hitter. 1 ball and 1 strike. In the dirt, another scrambling save by Rod Barajas. Scott Elbert, second and third now because of the wild pitch. Nobody out, 8th inning, 6-4 D-backs. And second strike. Kelly has struck out 111 times. Cowgill at third, Bloomquist at second, nobody out. Off the plate. Kelly Johnson last year struck out 148 times. He did have 26 home runs. When he was with the Braves, he struck out 117 and 113. So he is vulnerable to that. 3-2. And down he goes. So now let's see. It was Kirk Gibson who had the decision. What do you do with Kemp? He pitched to him, and Matt struck out. Now first base open, and he has Upton and a left-hand hitter on deck. And you see he was waving four fingers, though we assume that they will walk Upton. Yep, that's what's going to happen. So in a moment, the bases will be loaded, and the left-hand hitting catcher Miguel Montero will be coming up. Now walks got the Dodgers in a lot of trouble. Billingsley walked 5, and all 5 walks scored. But they just don't want to look at Upton, who has singled and then doubled to drive in 3. So Justin getting the intentional walk, and the batter will be Miguel Montero. So it's still 6-4 D-backs in the 8th inning. In looking at the past, Scott Elbert and Montero. Montero is 1 for 2 against him in the past. So with the bases loaded, Miguel Montero coming up. He has 1 grand slam. He hit that 3 years ago at Houston. Tonight he has flied to left, struck out, grounded out, and walked intentionally. He has done very well, as you can see, with the bases loaded. So Cowgill at third, Bloomquist at second, Upton at first, 1 away. Fastball up and in, ball 1. So Elbert went head-to-head with the left-hand hitting Johnson and struck him out. Now trying to do the same thing to Montero. The veteran catcher has grounded into 7 double plays. 2-0. Miguel Montero, by the way, has been a terror with less than 2 out and runners in scoring position. In this kind of a spot, he's hitting .391. And a ground ball to the right side. They get 1. They get 2. Just what the Dodgers look for, the double play. 8th time this year Montero has hit into one, and it's still 6-4 D-backs. For our text message question, remember we asked which recently acquired outfielder will make a bigger impact down the stretch. Will it be Carlos Beltran with the Giants or Hunter Pence with the Phillies? 56% of you said Hunter Pence. Meanwhile, coming out of the Arizona bullpen has been a fellow who's been just about their best pitcher coming out of the pen, and that would be David Hernandez. To give you an idea about Hernandez, with an ERA just under 3. He's a big fella, 6'3", 215, 26 years old, from Sacramento, and was drafted 3 times before he began his career. The Rockies wanted him when he was in high school. Diamondbacks wanted him. The Orioles wanted him. And then he came here in the deal that sent third baseman Mark Reynolds to the Orioles. From reports that we have, David has been the #1 reliever for the club. And of course, the pen has been a big vulnerable area. Rivera hitting .293 and 2 balls and no strikes. In looking at Hernandez's numbers as Rivera waits for the next pitch, 24 walks, 51 strikeouts, so a little better than 2-1. And that missed. Ball 3. Basically, Hernandez, a 4-seamer that he gets as high as 94. Pretty good 2-seamer, the sinker. Then he has a curve and a changeup. And he finds a strike. Scott Elbert made 18 pitches to weather the storm there in the 8th inning. Three and 1 to Rivera with Miles on deck. Fastball and a fly ball to left field. Parra is there. So Rivera flies to left, 1 away. Aaron Miles and then Rod Barajas.
Number 6, second baseman Aaron Miles.
Rivera was 3 for 6 in the past against Hernandez. Now Aaron Miles. Miles 1 for 2 against him. 1 out, bottom of the 8th, 6-4 D-backs. Giants lost. Arizona trying to get within 3. And they made the deal for Jason Marquis, who will be pitching against the Giants when they meet. They have 9 games left with San Francisco, but they're 2-7 against the Giants. And that's popped up to shallow left center, Chris Young. So 2 fly balls, and we have 2 out in the 8th, and the catcher Rod Barajas coming up.
Number 28, catcher Rod.
So David Hernandez quietly going about his work. Rod Barajas walked, grounded to short, and struck out. 0 for 2, hitting .210. Rod 9 home runs. And that's ball 1. Dodgers have to get something going if they hope to get Matt Kemp up in the 9th inning. Off the plate, 94-mile-an-hour fastball and a 2-ball no-strike count. After Barajas, you'd have Carroll, the pitcher spot, Gwynn, Blake, Ethier. So 5 more hitters before Matt can get up there. 2-0. That's in there on the inside corner at 94. Crowd seeing a good ball game. 37,139. 37,139. Foul back. Last night we had 35,169. And if you can, hope you'll be out here with us tomorrow afternoon. Joe Saunders and Ruby De La Rosa. After tomorrow's game, the Dodgers go out briefly to San Diego and Arizona. There's Joe holding on to the ball and thinking about going back out there tomorrow. That's just off the plate. 3-2 to Barajas with Jamie Carroll on deck. And a half swing, strike 3. So Rod goes down. That's important because now the Dodgers would really have to rally in the 9th inning to get Matt Kemp up. It is 6-4 Diamondbacks. Six to 4. Dodgers go right back into the bullpen. This time they bring in Josh Lindblom. He's been up before. Lindblom is from Lafayette, Indiana. Brought up from Chattanooga. He was the Dodgers' second round pick out of Purdue University in 2008. He was a third round pick by the Astros, but he turned them down. He spent a year at Tennessee, then 2 years at Purdue. Then he went back into the draft, and that's when the Dodgers signed him. Lindblom basically brings a 95-mile-an-hour sinking fastball. He has a curveball, a slider. He started throwing cutters last year, and he has a straight change. Kind of a pitcher they say breaks a lot of bats. He is 6'5", 240 pounds. Last year, the Dodgers experimented with using him as a starter, but they dropped that idea and put him back in the bullpen. So Lindblom will be pitching to Young, Allen, and Roberts in the 9th. D-back 6 runs, 10 hits. Dodgers 4 runs, 8 hits. Young popped up, grounded out, singled, stole a base and scored, and popped up again. 1 for 4, hitting .251. Starts him with a strike, 0-1. And 2. Dodgers have used Billingsley, Guerrier, Elbert, And now Lindblom. Lindblom had been in 8 games. Walked 3, struck out 5 when he was with the Dodgers earlier. And popped in the air foul. Might be a play. Barajas coming over with Rivera. It's Barajas. So Young fouls out. For the D-backs, they've been consistent. When they have left anyone on base, they've left 2. They left 2 in the first, 2 in the second, 2 in the fourth, 2 in the sixth, 2 in the eighth. So they've left 10 men, but they're leading 6-4. Brandon Allen walked and scored a run, singled, walked again and scored a run, and struck out, so he's 1 for 2. Fouled away off third. 0-1 the count to Big Brandon. It was interesting. We didn't want to show it because you just don't like to show somebody losing his temper. But Brandon Allen was on the steps in the Arizona dugout last night after Justin Upton had a very tough inning. And Upton came into the dugout, and if you could look in the dugout, you'll see a couple of big plastic tubs. One has Gatorade, and they're piled one on top of the other. And Allen was just standing on the steps looking out at the field. Justin Upton came in. He was directly behind Allen, and Upton did his best to destroy the dugout. Youthful rage at its best. See all those cans? I mean, he had them completely overturned. He kicked them, he punched them, and all the while, Allen looking out to the field, his expression never changed, never turned around to even look at Upton. As a rookie, he just stared straight ahead. It made quite a picture. But at the same time, we didn't want to just show you somebody who had lost it for a moment. I always felt that there is some degree of privacy once a player gets in the dugout. Anyway, 1-2 to Brandon Allen. Well, just like that, he goes down, striking out a second time. What appeared to be a change. And with 2 out, Ryan Roberts coming up.
Number 14, third baseman, Ryan Roberts.
Ryan Roberts singled to center, flied to right, walked and scored, and fouled out. So Ryan 1 for 3. He has some pop, 14 home runs. Last night, Roberts homered in the second inning. Checked on a little slider that missed. 1 ball and no strikes. When the Dodgers come up in the 9th inning, they'll have Jamie Carroll, then they'll have a hitter for Lindblom, and then they'll have Tony Gwynn. Off speed for a strike. What makes it interesting is to look at the Dodger bench. You have Trent Olgen, who was out on deck briefly. They called him back, and Loney came up, hit back to the box. 1-2. So the Dodgers have Trent Olgen. Then they have Rafael Furcal. I'm not sure if he's even in the dugout. They have Eugenio Velez. And Diona Navarro as a backup catcher. He would be last, and Olgen is testing the bat. Why am I wondering about Rafael Furcal? Maybe you joined us late. Dodgers have told Rafael that he could be involved in a deal with St. Louis as a 10-5 player, 10 years in the big leagues, 5 years with a team. He has the right to think it over for 24 hours. All reports are that we get that Rafael is all for it. And tomorrow, the Dodgers will get the announcement. But we'll see. We asked to look in the dugout. We did not see Rafael. The fellas in the truck who have been checking carefully, they say they haven't seen him tonight. So it could be that Rafael is not available. He's not even anywhere near the game. Fouled away. One thing for sure, If Rafael Furcal leaves and goes to St. Louis, he will go with the best wishes of everybody connected with the Dodgers. A terrific player. Never once did we see him dogged or take it easy. He was always 100% at a full tilt. And of course, as you know, victimized of late, bad back, broken finger. He has been a wonderful player. There they are, the pitchers. And there's Tim Wallach, Dave Hansen. I remember the World Series looking for Kirk Gibson. Remember that? We know where he is now. Dugout, and there's a base hit for Ryan Roberts. So Roberts comes up with his second hit number 1 of Josh Lindblom.
Left fielder Gerardo.
And that'll bring up Gerardo Parra. Single to right and struck out, walked and scored a run and grounded out. So Parra is 1 for 3. His base hit set the stage in the second inning for a scoring fly ball. So 2 out, Roberts at first, Parra at the plate. Sean Burrows is out on deck. Ryan Roberts, by the way, has stolen 13 out of 19. Two out, 6-4 Diamondbacks. Dodgers will have Carroll, a pinch hitter, and then Tony Gwynn. And then you have Blake, then you have Ethier. So there's quite a few hitters before they could come to Matt Kemp. That's off the plate. That was the two-seam sinker. 1 ball and no strikes. Came up there at 92. One ball and no strikes. Got that outside corner, 1-1. J.J. Putz has been throwing in the bullpen. So we'll expect him to be coming into the game in the 9th inning. 1-1 to Gerardo Parra from the Dominican. And there goes the runner. The pitch is low. The throw right at the runner to get him. Nice throw by Rod Barajas to nail Ryan Roberts. No runs, a hit, nobody left. So here come the Dodgers, led by Jamie Carroll. Bottom of the 9th, 6-4 D-backs. eighth inning, the Diamondbacks are leading the Dodgers 6-4. Arizona fully aware of the fact that the Giants lost to Cincinnati. So with a victory tonight, they could get to within 3. And they give the ball to J.J. Putz. He is 6'5", 250-pounder, 34 years old, out of Trenton, Michigan. Went to school at the University of Michigan and was originally signed by the Seattle Mariners back in 1999. He was with the Mariners really from 03 right up through 08. Then in 2009 with the Mets, 2010 with the White Sox, and now with the Diamondbacks. For Putz, he has 22 saves, and he's facing Jamie Carroll. Jamie hitting .294, grounded to second, single to center, and walk. 1-4-2. They pull up the corners, protecting against a bunt, and Putz ready to go to work. Right. Putz just got off the DL Tuesday. He missed 20 games. He had right shoulder tendonitis. He's held the opposition scoreless 25 out of 35 games. 0-1. And quickly out in front, 0-2 to Carroll. J.J. with a no-ball, 2-strike count. And a fly ball to right field. Upton goes back a little bit to get it. So one pressure's out. And the Dodgers now will send up Eugenio Velez. Well, we saw Cowgill get his first hit in the big leagues. And the Dodgers are waiting for Velez to come up with his first hit as a Dodger. Eugenio is 0 for 13 since coming over from the Giants. For the Dodgers, a long way to go to get to Matt Kemp. After Velez, you have Gwynn, then Blake, then Ethier, and we already have one out. Fastball fouled away. Putz, believe it or not, as Matt Kemp calmly waits. Putz was a catcher until his junior year in high school. He'd also DH. Wasn't until really his senior year he started to pitch. When he was at the University of Michigan, Tom Brady lived in his dorm. 0-1. And another strike. Throwing an easy 95. For J.J. Putz, he is 3 classes shy of his degree in sports management. 0-2 to Eugenio Velez. He's another fellow the fans really like. And that's a fly ball. Cowgill is there. We'll make it par. And we have 2 down as Velez flies to left. And the batter is Tony Gwynn. When you look at Putz, you'll see that so-called soul patch on his chin. 3 years ago, they actually had a soul patch night in Seattle. And the first 20,000 fans received replica soul patches to mimic the one that Putz wears below his lower lip. The other night we had a pitcher with a mustache, and they had mustache night. All right, 2 out, 9th inning, 6-4 D-backs. And a strike. Gwynn popped up, tripled, flied to center, single, stole a base. So he has 2 hits, scored a run. Hitting back of him, Casey Blake. Oh, 0-1. And that's going to go foul. So the Dodgers now are down to their last strike. 37,139, and we were honored to have so many members of the U.S. Navy here tonight. They saw a good game. There was a lot going on, including the leapfrogs, the seals that came down out of the sky before the game. Time. For Don Mattingly, his club had won 5 of 6. He's got a little soul patch of his own. Foul back. Put certainly doesn't look like a fellow who's recovering from tendonitis. Appears to be throwing nice and easy. Michael Owings at 6'5" started. Puts at 6'5" trying to finish. And ball 1. 1 and 2. One ball and 2 strikes to Tony Gwynn. And he got a little bit of it, so he's still alive on the foul tip. And the count remains 1 and 2. For JJ out there on the mound, not only is he a good athlete, his wife was a 2-time All-American softball player at Michigan. She was a second baseman, so she can relate to the feelings of winning and losing. JJ has twin girls. 1 and 2. Fouled away, so Tony is still there. He's hitting .258. 13 runs batted in. For Jamie Carroll, a frustrating night. Jamie had a base hit and a walk. Determined look on his face as the Dodgers down to a 1-ball 2-strike count. And JJ was walking off. 2 and 2 the count. 4 puts, 9 walks, 35 strikeouts. 2 and 2. And ball 3. Tony trying to keep the game alive with 2 out. Blake on deck has a sacrifice fly and is 0 for 3. Three and 2. And fouled away. Six runs, 11 hits for the Diamondbacks. 4 runs, 8 hits for the Dodgers. This is the 8th meeting of the year between these two teams. D-backs have won 4 of the previous 7. Outfield shaded to left, with Parra playing shallow in left field. And hit foul off third, out of play. A beautiful evening, 71 degrees when the game started. Not only did we have a brilliant canopy of blue, we had what looked like a lot of pink feathers scattered all over the sky. It was a great way to start the game. 3 and 2. And he battled and got the walk. Now, that was a great at-bat for Tony Gwynn. So Tony had a walk, a single, a triple, a stolen base, and a run scored. That was an 11-pitch at-bat. Tony fouled off 6 pitches. Boy, he has really developed. So here's Blake with Ethier on deck, and then, of course, the trump card if they can ever get to Matt Kemp. Casey Blake 0 for 3 and has face put enough time to go 2 for 9, and there goes Gwynn, but that'll be defensive indifference. No stolen base. Puts in Montero as Ethier watches from the on-deck circle, and the Dodgers are hoping that somehow they can get Matt Kemp up there. There's 2 outs. One ball and no strikes to Casey Blake. In the Dodger bullpen, Javi Guerra begins to warm up just in case. High drive into right center field. Upton is there. And that will be that. A long out to right. And the Dodgers go down against Put. It's 6 runs, 11 hits, and no errors for the D-backs. 4 runs, 8 hits, and no errors for the Dodgers. The winner would be Micah Owing, and the loser, Chad Billingsley. And for the Dodgers, they have won 3 of 8 against Arizona, and the D-backs and Kirk Gibson are 3 games behind San Francisco. We'll talk to you tomorrow. That'll be Ruby De La Rosa and left-hander Joe Saunders. Till then, we wish you all a very pleasant good evening.